My mum said I can watch it. Hello and welcome to They Live 1988 and this episode of My Mum Said I Could Watch It. Oh babe. John Carpenter's classic media subliminal conspiracy. Good night, Dad. Film that has so many different factors involved. It has fights, it has technology, it has subliminal messaging, it has Reaganomics, and it has all the commentary. If you haven't seen the film, ostensibly behind me here we see a drifter who I don't think is ever actually named throughout the entire film, although credited as Nada, by played by Roddy Piper. Just a journeyman looking for a buck, an opportunity. He very much believes that all America needs is hard work and persistence, and everything will come to you. While working, he's a skilled labourer, he's a talented man. He is befriended by Frank, an African American with a family on another side of the coast, far more cynical than Nada, and is trying to do his best to ensure that they have a good life and that he can just get by. He has no big American dream, just get by. While this dynamic of buddies seems innocuous enough, due to a series of happenstance, Nada finds himself with a pair of glasses which are being used by a resistance force that basically make him woke and less of an NPC stroke sheeple to the conspiracy of oppression around him. As such, he responds to this by going on a murder spree and trying to rob a bank rather than dismantle or question anything that he really sees. Events escalates. He is recruited to the resistance until the denouement, where, as a blow to fight the evil aliens, he blows up a satellite system, thus liberating people in the state from their sheeple-like state. It's vicious, it's strong, it's sharp as, and it was really worth going back to. 1988, so we really are talking about me being 12 when it came out. I suspect this became to my attention in 1989, so I'd have been 13, and I made a point of checking this as well. It's also when Sky launched in the UK. Now, my family was neither Asian enough or middle class enough, no, rather working class enough at the time. The reason why I bring these two elements up to this right now is that cable is a new thing then in the UK. We're all still renting stuff. Wrestling and the likes of Roddy Piper were really only for those who had a Sky dish. My main memory of it is the rather it's a cliche, but it was there for a reason. When you rent a Sky dish, you get a free council flat. So that's that one element there that wasn't really going to draw me to the film, because I'm not doing the wrestling. The reason why I say the Asian families is because, and other second gens apply here, for Asian families this was about this cinema. Watching Super Duper Man, less of the karate cops, and watching, Sajid Ray Bollywood films. Normally for me that would mean going around to a cousin's house and sitting on a couch that was wrapped in plastic. That isn't a stereotype, that is a truism, as it was the late 80s, early 90s, and that is what I did. Watched it for a science fiction film. Watching it now, of course I've seen it since then. I think it's become so ubiquitous, so quotable. Kick-Ass, Chew Gum, all of the rest of it. What we forget is the slow burn of it all. we don't mention the fact that the shanty town that Nada and Frank are staying in is absolutely bulldozed and attacked by the aliens, as a almost as a play on gentrification. That the fact is that it is the drifters and the fringers who are able to question these aliens. We never find out who's producing the lenses. We never find out how wide the resistance network is. And because the film is all show not tell, it would have gone great into a series. The fight scene that everyone talks about, yes, there's a certain fun and machismo to it, but the stuff I think people forget, and I know I did, is that when Nada finds the shades and he's escaped with them and so on, when he opens up the box, there's none of that naff exposition when someone goes, "What's this? A pair of sunglasses?" He's just looking at it. And this is why Roddy Piper is a great actor in this film. Just sheer expression. He just goes, and he puts them on out of some sense of resignation. It also really struck me that the reason he can be as he is that, he's a really handsome Ken. He is a muscular, macho, blonde, white, blue-eyed male. His ability to believe in America will work out for him is pretty much informed there by that. The fact that Frank is an African American with a family to feed means there are twofold elements going on there. He already knows that the game is not just about application, and he also has a duty and a responsibility to others. Nada, whose name is literally nothing, can afford this moral compass and this backbone almost within the thing. The only final point I would make in regards to that is that when he's slapped by Holly, it's just cold as. I mean, yes, we all know she's an incredibly crushable actress who also played Evelyn, and Charlie Bond's just not allowed to watch this, let alone any comments in regards to my feelings about her rendition of Evelyn in Masters of the Universe starring Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. Okay, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that film because you didn't need your parents' permission. Actually, when you consider Evelyn, probably should have been a bit more. Anyway, the way she just cold clocks him out of her apartment, it's the levels of detail that John Carpenter goes into. Her gay neighbours, as gay as you could be in 1988 cinema. The social milieu itself, all show not tell, and it's just paced. It's paced, not just a fight. It takes so long before a monster comes up, and at the end we understand that there are side effects to the lenses and the contact lenses. Yes, they're seeing the world in black and white, but the world isn't in black and white, and I think that was an important point at the end, because once the signal's dropped, yes, the subliminal text becomes more apparent, but the world is in colour. The filtration device of the lenses or the specs have turned it monochrome. I think it's a crucial point to bring up because it's also, this signal isn't going worldwide. That channel is going worldwide. This loops all the way back to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. How far does this actually go? Could this conceivably be closed down? Nada's sacrifice as well leaves the whole ending so bittersweet. It is, as well as, Frank's death, just bam, practically off screen. The shock value is there. I never trusted her. She's Evelyn. But the drudgery of living in the fringe as an underclass, as a disposable human being, brought in ultimately by the drifter, and it is the people with the least. Can I really judge the guys going, guys, we all sell out eventually? He's the guy who was eating out of a trash can. Can I really blame Trash Can Guy for, selling out the Resistance? The Resistance weren't feeding him, really. They weren't really giving him anything unless he made a contribution. And I think that has to be remembered in these current times. You know, those that we've neglected. A final note is they often say it takes a village to raise a child. What that is, though, is that's only half of the proverb. The other half being, or the child will burn the village to feel its warmth. So with that, and with love in these times, I do recommend that your mum would say you should watch this. Peace out.